This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. Good morning, everybody.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning, Diana Ross. You look fantastic.
Yeah.
It's my house, and I live here.
Oh, my. I feel that. Welcome to DBL again. We do have Dr. Cole here. Good to see you, Doc. She's going to weigh in on the first story, but first, let's talk about the latest in the debate over President Biden's age. So we want to let you know that visitor logs reveal that a Parkinson's expert visited the White House 8 times over 8 months. Of course, this came up at the press briefing yesterday with Karine Jean-Pierre. Take a look.
The president, I can tell you, has seen a neurologist 3 times, as it's connected to a physical that he gets every year that we provide to all of you.
It's a very basic, direct question.
Wait, hold on, wait. Has the president been treated for Parkinson's? No. Is he being treated for Parkinson's? No, he's not. Is he taking medication for Parkinson's? No. So those are the things that I can give you full-blown answers on.
So the president's physician also released a letter. I have it here. I've read the whole thing. Explains that the Parkinson's doctor, who is also a neurologist, regularly visits the White House to hold neurology clinics to support the military personnel. I want to get the panel's take on this. Do we believe this letter? Do we believe that he's there for military neurology clinics, or are you concerned that they're hiding a cover-up?
Well, I'll jump in and I'll just say it's just strange that this is the first time that we're hearing about this. If there was something that was kind of known that every 6 months, every 4 months, the doctors or this doctor comes in and treats the higher end generals, higher end administrative staff, then that would be fine. But the first time we're hearing about this is when there's serious, legitimate questions about the president's cognitive health. And I think it's for as forthcoming as I know she was trying to be, any holes that are left are going to be filled by the public in terms of gaps in information. So they need to be very clear about what's going on as we are looking to maybe elect a president that's going to be 86 at the end of his term.
And I will say, though, I've read through the letter. They are pretty specific, saying he has absolutely no issues. It's just part of his ankles that get hot and cold, neuropathy there. But they are very conclusive that he is not being treated for that. Does anyone think he is, and they're lying?
I think when you're 80, you get checked out for what you need to get checked out for. Obviously, something's going on. His decline has fallen dramatically in the last 4 years, so something's going on. He may not have Parkinson's,
Sure.
but it's good that they're getting it checked out. And this is a man, at the end of the day, an older gentleman, that you want treatment for, right?
Absolutely.
You don't want the worst for him, so you want to check out every avenue. Something's going on. They're not hiding that. It's not a conspiracy. We all see with our own eyes. Maybe he doesn't have Parkinson's, but something else, I think, is on that chart.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to Dr. Coley about it, and let's just talk about what Parkinson's disease is. What is it? What are the early warning signs? We want to make sure we're good about it. What should we be on the lookout for? Talk to me, Doc.
So before I get into that, Tori, I want to comment. I've read the letter too, and I would really have loved to see the actual results of the neurological exam, the actual mini mental status exam, because a lot of questions about his cognitive abilities. So to me, it's still a little bit cryptic as a physician. It's not completely transparent exactly how he scored, what his score was, how does that perform, for other people his age. But Parkinson's is a disease that's actually very, very classic. So I remember in medical school, the patient that I met with Parkinson's, I'll never forget him, sitting there with a masked face, so we lose our facial expressions. He had a pill rolling tremor, so it looks like you're rolling a pill in your hand, and he had a shuffling gait, so he walked with tiny little steps like that, and then he had mood instability, so he had depression, he had dementia, and his blood pressure went crazy. So it's a neurological condition that affects these dopamine neurons in our brain, and it can cause movement disorders.
And it can affect the blood pressure and the heart even. Wow.
Because it's all nervous system.
Wow.
And so I have a patient in my clinic now whose blood pressure goes crazy, and that was the first presentation that he had of Parkinson's.
Oh, wow.
So how long does it take before it gets really bad, and what's the treatment for it?
Yeah, so this really depends. Everybody's Parkinson's looks different. And so most commonly it presents between the ages of 50 to 85. The people that actually present earlier, they progress a little bit slower. And there's different subtypes of Parkinson's, so that can sort of determine how quickly it progresses. But it can be a few years to a few decades, the progression. But unfortunately, it is progressive, and we don't have a cure. The treatments don't slow the disease. They just sort of treat the symptoms of the disease, the movement disorder, the mood disorder, those types of symptoms of the condition. But the dementia that can come with it is also pretty hard to treat and pretty resistant.
Wow.
Let's switch. Oh, go ahead. Yeah,
I just
follow
want
up.
to jump in, Jeff, because I had a thought. Is that what we're seeing kind of like with Michael J. Fox because he was diagnosed at a much younger age?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Just
so like
slower
I said,
progress.
every single person's looks different. It depends on your genetics. It depends on your subtype. But yes, if you get diagnosed at a younger age, they think it progresses a little slower. It can take 20 years to progress as opposed to people that get diagnosed a little bit later. Now, there's some drugs that can cause a Parkinsonian-like effect. So we have medications that we use for people, psychiatric medications and such, that can affect these same dopamine neurons, make it look like you have Parkinson's when you actually don't.
Wow, that's scary. Let's switch gears a little bit, talk about the election, because it's a very stressful time for many Americans. And I had one shot, yeah. So politics is a source of stress for a lot of folks, right? All jokes aside. How does that impact our mental well-being?
Tremendously so. So 2/3 of registered voters say that they are impacted on a mental level by this. And we're talking about some people get amped up and some people get amped down. So some people get anxiety, fear. What are the election results going to be? And it's not just fear about the issues, it's fear about the candidates, who's going to win, losing control, a lot of the things that a lot of us worry about. And some people do the opposite. They withdraw, they go into depression, they have sleep problems. And so it can really affect us in a number of different ways. But it's really important to have a pulse on how it's affecting us, because this is a real condition. It's called election stress disorder. And it's becoming increasingly popular, especially in the era of social media, where we're inundated with information. It's not like we can escape, and it's a constant sort of feeling of helplessness because we talk about all the things that are broken and not about how we can fix them.
We get more I'm so sorry. We get more information in one day than in like 1950 they got in 1 year.
Wow.
I definitely
We're just
believe that.
inundated with it. I'm so sorry.
No,
scale.
so Doc, let's say somebody's watching this and they say, Dr. Coley, I think I have election
Stress disorder.
What can I do to
Don't say
limit,
ED.
like, what can I do now that I know that this is a thing to limit these negative effects?
So before the election, I used to take what I call worry breaks. Now I take election breaks, where I spend like a little finite amount of time thinking about politics, reading about it, discussing it with my friends and family, and otherwise I unplug, because it's really important to have your routine, have your mindfulness, and focus on the things you can control, not on the things you can't worry about the election.
God, it's hard. When I go home to D.C., I try and zone out, and it's just like,
DC.
That's where you go to get away from politics?
yeah, it's hard. It's my hometown. It's my home.
Get it? Hey.
That's my home. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Coley. DBL Nation, follow Dr. Coley on social media at Pyle Coley MD. Also be sure to subscribe to her YouTube page. Plus, check out her podcast, Heart of Medicine, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thank you again. We really appreciate that, Dr. Coley. Coming up, Alec Baldwin goes on trial for the deadly Rust movie set shooting. Will he testify in his own defense? And we're talking with Jason Biggs all about celebrating the 25th anniversary of American Pie. Nice with the music. Welcome back to DBL. Alec Baldwin's trial over the fatal shooting on the set of the Rust movie began yesterday, and jury selection started this morning. Alec, if you don't know, is charged with involuntary manslaughter for the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins. Alec has pleaded not guilty and maintains, again, he did not pull the trigger on the prop gun. He was pointing at her. Now, the judge made a ruling yesterday that Alec's role as producer, because he produced the movie, cannot be considered at all. If convicted, he can face up to 18 months in prison. That's the maximum. What do we all think of this? Do you think he can get a fair trial? Let's start with that. Jeff, what do you think? Do you think he can get a fair trial?
I do.
You do?
And I definitely, I'll put it out, he will not get convicted. It's not his problem that the gun went off, even if he did pull the trigger.
That's
He's not
how
being
I feel.
tried as a producer.
Right.
It's not his job. If you don't get a package and someone sends it to you, don't be mad at me. Be mad at the Postal Service. There was someone's job called an armorer. It's a specific job to check that gun. They have one job, to look at the guns. He has one job. Well, he has two jobs in this case, to produce, which is not on trial, and to be an actor, and to hit his marks, and to say his thing, and to pull the trigger when he needs to. I don't know why he said he did or didn't pull the trigger. I'm going to stand firm that he is not getting convicted at all and is not his fault.
Not guilty. Erica, do you have a response to that?
No, I do think that he'll be able to get a fair trial. It's just a matter of how great of a job they do with jury selection.
Sure.
On his end, or on both ends, actually. If the jury selection is done in a way that is fair and balanced, then I think that is always going to be the best response to, can it be a fair trial?
Yeah, that's true. Al, let me ask you this, though. The FBI had a test. They took the gun. They did everything they possibly could. They said there's no way this gun can have shot a bullet out of it unless the person holding it shot the trigger. We know on sets you're not supposed to point a gun and pull, excuse me, not shot, pulled the trigger. They said there's no way. He's claiming he didn't. What do we say with that kind of, as a juror, what do you put with those two pieces of information?
Well, from what I understand, full disclosure, after the FBI dismantled it, they could no longer reassemble it to make it testable by another
The defensive group,
yes.
yeah.
So right there, I feel like we're looking at a toss-out right there, that we were able to analyze this, but you can't take our word for it. I don't know about that. But I will say this personally. I have been on shoots on shows that I've hosted before, and one of them involved this guy that was spinning guns, and they were fake movie set guns, and the first thing I did was pull the trigger. It's fake. We were on a TV set, and there was obviously no bullets in it. If it was loaded with a live round, I don't know if any movie star then is now, whether we're talking about the next Rambo film or the next Terminator, are they now supposed to assume that all of their fake Batman, Iron Man equipment is functional? I would think that would be the one place where you know that you could pull a trigger and nothing's going to happen.
But isn't there, and I kind of agree with you that he won't get time, but I do have to say, it's not just the armor. I mean, the armor is getting in trouble, and she's been charged and convicted, but half of the equation is the person holding the weapon, right? Like, you're taught how to hold a weapon on set. You disagree. Go ahead.
Disagree.
Tell me.
I did already. That's not his job. I've been in
with,
like
like,
3
training?
movies.
Yeah.
And you have to go from A to B, learn your lines. When you get to C, you pull the trigger and shoot. Those are your patterns. Everything else, the writing, the lighting, that's the lighting guy's job. That's the camera guy's job. My job is to deliver my lines. And he oversees the project where he could have gotten in trouble for, but they're throwing that out. It's not a producer. I don't know why he say he did or didn't pull the trigger. There's obviously video of him pulling the trigger or not. So that might hurt him, and we got to go. But that might hurt him in court, but I still think he's getting no time.
All right, let us know what you guys think. We will be right back. Welcome back to DBL. Can you believe it's been 25 years since American Pie hit theaters? I feel very old. Earlier, we spoke with Jason Biggs, who's put a new spin on one of his famous scenes from the film. You know the one. Take a look.
Well, we'll just tell your mother that we ate it all.
Please welcome back to DBL. We love him and his pies, Jason Biggs.
Hi guys, how are you?
Doing great to see you again. Let's jump right in because this year is the 25th anniversary of American Pie. I can't believe it. I know you can't. And you teamed up with Edwards Desserts to recreate a family-friendly version, of course, of your famous pie scene. But this time you're playing the father. So did you ever think you'd still be referencing this very scene from a different generation?
Not 25 years ago. I certainly didn't think I would be sitting here today referencing it. But, you know, as the last 25 years has unfolded, and it's dawned on me just how impactful this movie, that scene in particular, have been to people. And, you know, having this perspective now, every day people come up to me and talk about this movie. They talk about the role. They talk about the pie scene. And it's incredible. It is absolutely incredible. It's not lost on me that an opportunity like that doesn't come around very often in terms of an actor's career. But for me, the most special thing is still being able to connect with the fans after all these years. Yeah, I play the Eugene role now. It's kind of flipped, you know, and of course it's a family-friendly version as opposed to the original pie scene. But it's, you know, we did a shot-for-shot remake.
Well, speaking of Eugene Levy, he recently called you his, quote, second son. So what's one thing that you always remember about working with him on those movies?
Oh my gosh, there's so much, but you know, I'll never forget the first day we met, actually, was it was a rehearsal day. He had been cast, and we were going to start filming in a few weeks, I think. And we came in. It was just he and I, the writer, and the directors. And we went into a room, and we went through every scene, and we improvised. But, you know, we just had such a great, like, immediate rapport. And yeah, he's like a second dad to me. And I tell you, like, if anyone, you know, has influenced me and my comedy, my acting in any way, it's Eugene. I hope. I mean, that's what I think about Eugene when I'm doing comedy. You know, more than anyone else, for sure.
Yeah, I did improv in LA and New York, and he's still the king. I mean, you look up to him and you bow down. I agree. I gotta know, did that iconic apple pie scene from the original movie sour you to actual apple pie in real life, even for a little bit?
You know, it never soured me in the sense that I didn't like it. How can you not love pie? I mean, I love pie. I love pie. There, I said it. You're going to take, that's going to be the little, you're just going to take that. That's going to be, go viral. Just me going, I love pie.
I'm like, clip it.
Yeah, clip it. Send it out.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's, I did get a little tired, I suppose, of people sending pies to me at restaurants. You know, only because, you know what? Only because I kind of felt bad for them, because I probably wasn't giving them the reaction that they were hoping for. You know, every time someone did it, and by the way, still occasionally happens, but anytime it happens, the person that's doing it thinks that they are doing the funniest, most original, most hilarious thing ever, and all due respect, it's not. It's just not. I get it. I get why you would do this. But so I try real hard to give them a, hey, thanks, funny reaction. But I'm probably, at this point, I can't hide my, I wouldn't say disdain, but I won't hide my sort of lack of impression.
I think that's fair, sir.
I don't know what they were thinking. Like, were you going to recreate the scene for them because they bought you a slice of pie?
You move all of your dinner away.
All right, yeah.
Move it.
The
totally.
word is out.
I don't even know. I don't even know. And now the truth is, you know what? If it's not an Edwards pie, I don't even want to see it.
Amen.
So that's where I'm at.
I love it. Thank you so much, Jason. DBL Nation, he loves pie. Don't miss out on the Edwards anniversary apple pie at pieloversunite.com. Love it again. Thanks for coming on again. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for having me always. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We've got some great products from our friends at Morning Save. Check them out. Hey, Steph, what do you have for us today? Because I'm ready to shop.
Hello, Tori. Hello, DBL Nation. We are super excited to show you the deals we've got today. As ever, they're fabulous. So let's check everything out. First up, we've got the Made in Crystal wine decanter, and this is a super summer steal, and it includes one decanter. This is a super summer steal, so you do not want to miss out on this. Everyone's going to want one, because why not? Normally it's $99 for this, but we have got it for just $20, so that's saving 80%. Up next, we've got the 24-pack Dartwood reusable water balloons. So this deal includes 24 reusable water balloons. Normally this is $28.
Okay, not bad.
We've got a 24-pack for $12. That's saving 57%. Honestly, if you're a granny, an auntie, an uncle, mum or dad, you're going to be the coolest person in your family if you bring these to a pool party, seriously. Next up, we've got the Poohoo Concept 6-piece knife set, and it also comes with these guards. Now, you guys, I need to let you know that this board here is not included. It is just the knives in this deal. The deal does include a chef bread cutting, santoku, utility, and paring knife. So normally this is $30. However, we are selling them for just $15, which is saving 50%. Last but not least, we've got one of our brand favorites. It's Cuisinart. It's a full-size stainless steel toaster. This deal today includes one toaster. Normally it is $80. However, we've got it for $29.99, which is saving you guys 63%.
All right, guys, head on over to morningsave.com. You know the drill. Or, as you can see, there's a QR code right on screen, and you can use that. It will send you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Thank you so much, Steph. Jeff, how many knives do you have? You have a good set of knives?
No. You know what's funny? That's weird you asked that. All my silverware's gone. And I have 2 sets of silverware. My kids, I think, just think it's like plastic and they throw it away. And I had family in town. We had like 3 forks.
Use it and pass it.